Drivers who have surpassed the million-mile mark with preventable accident-free driving. By reaching this milestone, you can be a part of an elite club of drivers who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills. If you or someone you know is a truck driver with 1,000,000 miles or more of driving under your belt without a preventable accident, register online at redeyeradioshow.com. That's redeyeradioshow.com. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club would not be possible without the generous support of the fine folks from Petro Stopping Centers, House Lubricator, Motel 6, the St. Christopher Fund, and Cat Scale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at redeyeradioshow.com.
If you're a trucking industry professional, then you need to stay on top of changing regulations, equipment upgrades, and technology advancements. Fleet Owner Magazine gives you all of this and more. Written for fleet executives and managers, Fleet Owner gives you the business intelligence on operations, vehicle maintenance, regulations, and information technology you need to stay ahead. But that's not all. With its monthly print publication, daily and weekly email newsletters, and a website updated several times a day, Fleet Owner has all the latest news and information delivered to you when you want it and where you want it. From industry experts to award-winning writers and columnists, Fleet Owner is the #1 source for trucking information in North America. Remember to visit fleetowner.com every day for the latest industry news. You can also sign up to receive Newsline, their free email newsletter, and subscribe to Fleet Owner Magazine. Visit fleetowner.com. Fleet Owner, for news you can use.
The summer heat has set in, and it doesn't look like Alabama's cooling down anytime soon. To avoid heat illness, it's important to take preventative measures.
Okay,
Drink
now,
more fluids,
where do I want to
stay
go
indoors.
here? Where do I
When
want to go?
temperatures are extreme, reduce or eliminate strenuous activities during the hottest
I want
times
to
of
go
day.
here.
Protect yourself from the sun with a hat and sunscreen, and never leave pets or people in parked vehicles. This message brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health and this station.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris, encouraging you to take the Purple Pledge and support the 47 million people worldwide who are living with Alzheimer's disease and other dementias.
Do anything.
The number of Americans living with Alzheimer's is growing at an alarming rate. 10% of people over the age of 65 have the disease, and 2/3 of them are women. Someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's every minute. As the number of older Americans continues to grow, so will the number of new and existing cases of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. New research is making it possible to detect Alzheimer's disease and providing an accurate diagnosis earlier than ever before. Learning the signs of Alzheimer's, and if you notice them in a family member, seek medical treatment.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.alabamapublichealth.gov.
My job, finances, everything's so crazy.
Yeah.
I just haven't been in control.
I figure out how to get in this thing, man.
Is Smart About Money, a free online resource from the nonprofit National Endowment for Financial Education. Get empowered. Reach your financial goals. Visit samican.org.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
25.
Thank you for using Microsoft
It's Red Eye Radio. These are Permanent. I'm Gary McNamara, 8669 Red Eye. A new study by Nielsen that addresses American consumer opinions about COVID-19 and media usage. People 18 and older are showing increased confidence with respect to consumer behavior. People who are ready to go, those who proceed with caution, and consumers who wait and see when it comes to resuming normal behavior. The ready to go segment peaked at 61% in the March 21 survey compared to 34% in April of 2020. The more pessimistic group of wait and see consumers dropped to 9% in March 21 compared to 29%
pound key to finish your
years ago.
verification.
So,
If you
other key
initiate
consumer
this
opinions,
verification,
82%
someone may
obviously
be trying to
stores
access
closed
your account.
and started to open
Please
again,
press
compared with only
0
30%
pound to submit
Yeah,
a fraud alert.
64% say that it is safer than it was a month ago.
Okay. And you know, I mean, that's going to be a real balance of not only whether or not people feel safe, you know, going out. I think, again, the study shows here, the majority of people do feel safer, at least right now, and likely do every day. But what habits have
Thank
changed?
you for using Microsoft Sign-In
You know, it gets
Verification
real easy
System.
when you can now have,
Please press the pound
during
to
COVID,
finish your verification.
everybody went to deliver. Restaurants that weren't
Someone
delivering
may be trying.
went to deliver. Grocery stores that were doing delivery really ramped it up and made it a lot easier to order that way. There's a lot of stuff that people will not get delivered, and I'm in that category. There's some stuff that I don't want delivered. I need to, you know, examine it before I actually purchase it. But I do wonder what habits have changed with consumers during COVID.
This hour's news is brought to you by Travel Centers of America, home of World Blends Coffee, the freshest roast on the road.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Join the conversation using the Shell Rotella hotline, 866-907-3339. Red Eye Radio at Shell Rotella. What matters is inside.
Howdy, professional drivers. Homer Hogg here, Director of Technical Service for TA Truck Service. As a professional driver, you know replacing tires is a major expense. But what if you could save on tire costs without sacrificing performance or safety? Well, with high-quality Max Tread retread tires, you can. Right now, dry tires are $219 per tire, and trailer tires are just $199 per tire when you buy 2 or more. Only need a single? Get one dry tire for $244 or one trailer tire for $224. That's more savings. Only at TA Truck Service. Offer valid from April 30th, 2021 at participating TA Truck Service locations. Price includes cap and casing. Does not include mounting, labor, balancing, valve stems, or state and local taxes.
Truck drivers are a lot like first responders. We need them on the front lines every single day. Truck drivers play a critical role in our economy, hauling almost every item we buy. These men and women are the unsung heroes and backbone of America. When our heroes need support, they turn to the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund. The St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund is a 501c3 truck driver charity that steps in when illness or injury takes a driver off the road by paying necessity household expenses, including mortgage or rent, utility bills, insurance premiums, and vehicle or truck payments. Learn more about SCF today and make a donation to support our mission at truckersfund.org. That's truckersfund.org. Together, we are saving lives and families, one driver at a time. They're essential for us. It's time to be essential for them.
Over and over again. I'm beginning to think
and our
that
sponsors
them
are
folks
devoted
down
to
there
trucking safety.
just
That's why
really
we're
think
proud
we
to
are
bring you the
stupid
Red Eye
people.
Radio Million Mile Club. We've been saluting drivers
I'm
who have
beginning to think
surpassed
that.
the million mile
I
mark
think our
with
legislature
preventable
thinks we are
accident-free driving. By
stupid
reaching this
people.
milestone, you can be a part of an elite
I think
club of
they
drivers who
think
share
that.
remarkable safety records and demonstrate
They can get the
superior
gas
driving
tax
skills.
passed
If
in
you or someone
a
you
couple
know
hours.
is a truck driver with a
But they
million
can't get a
miles
lot
or
of
more
things.
driving
So
under
who's
your
paying
belt,
who
start a
down there?
preventable
Who's paying who?
online at
We trying to
rediradioshow.com.
figure out who getting the money.
That's
Who's getting the money?
rediradioshow.com. The
Who's
Red Eye
getting
Radio
the
Million Mile Club
money?
would not be possible without
Somebody's
the care
getting the
and
money.
support of the fine folks from
Never
the
in my
Metro
life
Trucking
have I
Centers,
seen people
House Lubricating,
trying to decide
Motel
what I
6,
spend my
the
money
St.
on.
Christopher Fund, and Cat Scale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at rediradioshow.com.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, and 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery, a Cumulus station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. They're talking guns today at the White House. President Biden is expected to unveil a series of executive actions aimed at reducing gun violence. Here's CBS News correspondent Naomi Rockham.
Most of President Biden's actions tackle relatively minor issues, like a revision of the federal government's definition of firearm.
No one is talking about overturning or changing the Second Amendment.
Another targets so-called ghost guns, weapons assembled from kits that have no serial numbers. The president will reportedly order the Justice Department to try to limit their availability.
5 people dead in South Carolina, among them a doctor, his wife, and 2 of their grandchildren. Trent Ferris with the York County Sheriff's Office.
We're shocked that this type of incident happened in our area in Rock Hill, especially with the amount of people who were involved.
A suspect is in custody. The motive for the shooting is still unclear. Shut down the facility and move the kids. That's the message from Texas Governor Greg Abbott about a child migrant facility in San Antonio.
The Biden administration must act now. This facility should shut down immediately. The children should be moved to better staffed and better secured locations.
Georgia's black clergy leaders have an ultimatum for the state's major corporations. Speak up against the new voting laws or a national boycott will happen. Here's Bishop Reginald Jackson.
For a long time, the black church has been called the conscience of the nation. And so on this issue, for example, we need to call the nation to its conscience.
They say the new voting laws will make it harder for the community of color to vote. Israel is observing Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Air raid sirens wailed across Israel on Holocaust Remembrance Day as the country emerges from the pandemic. Last year, ceremonies were held online under a nationwide lockdown, but thanks to a successful COVID vaccination campaign, ceremonies are taking place this year in person as Israel reopens. Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
A major tennis tournament has been postponed because of the pandemic. CBS's Elaine Cobb with details from Paris.
The French Open has been postponed by a week as the organizers bank on the health situation here improving by the time it starts May 30th. France is in the grip of a third wave of coronavirus infections, and the nation is in lockdown until at least early May.
And Virginia has become the first southern state to legalize marijuana. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors listen to your small business needs so they can provide you with tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform. Call today, 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, I'm Brad, and as you know, one of the worst things you can say in any business, or in life for that matter, is, but we've never done it that way before. That approach stops us from making decisions that could have been great. We just keep doing the same thing, even if we're not happy with it, even while we're complaining about it, we just keep doing it. What if there's a better way? This is why considering MediShare for your healthcare bills is such a great idea. It works. It's less expensive. It's convenient. It's a better way for so many people to pay for their healthcare.
There we go.
But we've never done it that way before. It's a great way to miss out on major savings. The typical family saves $500 a month.
There we go.
A huge network of doctors, the free telehealth services, the great customer service, and being a part of something that matters. More than 400,000 members sharing each other's healthcare bills. So you've never done it this way before? No problem. Just call. You can start saving right now. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
Spring break over. The curfew's also over in Miami Beach.
The curfew went into effect after thousands of spring breakers crowded South Beach shoulder to shoulder. City officials were afraid spring break would become a super spreader event, but with spring break all but over, the weekend curfew is gone. Miami Beach is still restricting sidewalk cafes, however, from serving after 8 p.m. Many local residents say the city didn't do enough to keep the crowds down. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
And let the chicken wars commence again. Everyone's still trying to up their poultry game after Popeyes unleashed their crispy beast last year. McDonald's is determined again to put out a better bird on bread, and this time it's for breakfast. The new crispy chicken breakfast sandwich they're testing out in some California Mickey D's has a fried chicken fillet, honey butter, smoked bacon, all on either a warm biscuit or English muffin.
Now that may get my attention.
Stacey Lynn, CBS
That
News.
may get a better attention.
Now and then, you come across a It just makes you feel good
Well,
inside.
well,
The Beat
well.
Lot at Pike Road, providing quality service, fair pricing, and a feeling of nostalgia. It's that time of year to get your garden started. And the Beat Lot has all your supplies, plants, and
A
more.
chicken sandwich with some bacon on it. That's what I'm talking about. Chicken sandwich with some bacon. Bacon makes everything better.
Check out their new building that makes you
Let me say.
Are you tired of the sun coming through your windows and waking you up in the morning? Or maybe the glare of the sun on your TV is the problem? Well, Just Blinds has the solution for you. Choose from a wide selection of top quality blinds, shutters, drapes, and more. Just Blinds located on Highway 31 in Prattville. And the trusted source for window coverings for over 30 years. Visit our Prattville showroom or visit Just Blinds at gojustblinds.com. That's gojustblinds.com.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute links for you to read or listen to.
Bitcoin, Chinese financial weapon. Well, there may be.
As opposed to days or weeks.
There may be something to that.
Nonfiction books in over
You
20
never can tell.
personal development, history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Work Week, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars.
Even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/stars. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/stars. That's BLINKIST.com/STARS.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen has stories of humble beginnings and humbling moments from inspiring people. He is
There we go. There we go. Right there. There we go.
Where do you think it all started for you?
First of all, I was never going to do anything illegal, and obviously I can't rap. So that was where I found Fubu. I was working a day job, and I was happy with it, but I found a hobby called Fubu because I just love to dress people, and I wouldn't realize that I would be here with you today.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
A batch of rain pushing across the area today, mainly during the morning hours, pushing from west to east. After 12 o'clock, I really think we're all dry, and it'll end up being sunny in the low 80s. A really nice afternoon ahead. Tonight, late, scattered showers and storms will develop, lows in 60s. Scattered showers and storms that could be strong with hail and high to possibly damaging wind gusts on Friday. Won't rain all day, and then morning rain and storms with strong wind potential Saturday. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. No major problems or accidents have been reported this morning to send anyone on an alternate route. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from the Selma area. And 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Still carrying light traffic. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Shopping is festive at Festival Plaza. Stop by World Finance. The River Region Ballet is there, and more. Festival Plaza, Taylor and Vaughn, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. The state legislature is getting closer to agreeing on a new Alabama lottery. The Senate passed the first of two bills required to get that process going. That measure passed by a vote of 30-2. It now moves on to the House for consideration. If it passes there, Alabama voters get it next. Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill announced yesterday he will not seek elective office next year. This comes after allegations of an extramarital affair detailed in a report from AL.com. The site reports Merrill initially denied the allegations, then confirmed he had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with another woman. And in coronavirus coverage this morning, the U.S. has reached a milestone in its COVID vaccination efforts. According to data from the CDC, nearly 25% of adults in the country have been fully vaccinated. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Hey y'all, it's Lewis at the Capitol Oyster Bar right down here on this beautiful Alabama River. Tell you some river news. You can get down here and rent you a pontoon boat. Enjoy this beautiful river. All you need is a driver's license and a credit card. You're going to come down here, you're going to see the new RV park we got up and running. If you haven't been here lately, you won't recognize it. We've been doing a lot of work, cooking up fresh seafood. Let's talk about Sunday afternoon fun. This Sunday at 5 o'clock. Randy Branch is going to be down here. Check it out, CapitolOysterBar.com. See you soon.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Garrett Coliseum. Browse over 30 hot tubs and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Garrett Coliseum in Montgomery. Visit SpaExpo.com.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
On the battlefield, there's a saying, America's military men and women live by.
Never leave a soldier behind.
Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hoops fans, Titus and Tate are back.
At church? And then my poor mother had to yell back at this lady, what happened in Raleigh?
Mark Titus and Tate Frazier are two basketball diehards talking NBA, NCAA, and all things sports.
They don't know anyone. Yes. They don't know anything. Yeah. What is wrong with these guys? And to that we would say,
listen and subscribe to Titus and Tate free wherever you get your podcasts for the Westwood One Podcast Network, where the conversation starts. He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine if you can. For it's another day that the Lord has made. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440 on your AM dial or iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio or newsradio1440.com, 95.1 Channel 3 on HD Radio. So there's no excuse that you can't start your day off being extremely motivated. Okay, I'm just saying. That's just what I'm saying. Next up, you know what we do. You know how we roll. It is time for our Daily Bread. And our Daily Bread is brought to you by none other than Alabama Home Mortgage, because there's a difference in mortgage companies. So you get a chance, you think about redoing your house or buying a house or getting pre-approved for a house. I can't think of anybody that can do this job better than Kim Williams and Madeline, those guys over there at Alabama Home Mortgage. 567-4223, because there really is a difference in mortgage companies. We'll be back with today's Our Daily Bread. Today, our Daily Bread is love reins us in. It is better not to do anything that will cause your brother or sister to fall. That's Romans 14:21. And we'll be back.
Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that mortgage rates are low. But did you know that mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest level since 1971? That's 50 years ago. So there's no wonder why you are getting bombarded with mortgage offers. Churchill said it best. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. That's That's exactly what other mortgage companies do. They advertise a rate, a teaser, if you will. The advertised rate piques your interest, so you give them a call. You ask questions, only to find the advertised rate is not available to you, or there's a hefty cost for you to get that rate. Unfortunately, this is very common in the mortgage industry. When calling on Alabama Home Mortgage, you don't have to hope you're getting the best rate. You will know you're getting the best rate at the lowest cost to you. Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS 1586368, equal housing lender.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is April the 8th, 2021 AD. It is a special day because this day, like the days of old, the days of yesterday, has not been before. And I guarantee it, this day, April the 8th, 2021, will never, ever come again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to summon it from the past. But more importantly, you don't get to go back and do the things you should have done today. And you don't get to undo some of the things you did. So whatever it is that you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day, April the 8th, 2021 AD. No doubt if you up listening to me this morning, you and I have both seen many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What you going to do with it? Benjamin Elijah Mays once said, and I say it every morning, got to stop getting on the head about that, every morning because it's true. Whatever you do in life, you should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born should be able to do it any better. And I said that is the standard by which you live life. You shall always be successful. Oh, you may fail at a thing or two, but you will never be a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never, ever give up. Never. Sometimes the mountains are too high. Sometimes they're too deep. And sometimes they're too wide. Well, if you can't get over it, you can't get under it, you can't go around it, what you got to do? Well, sometimes you got to go through it. But you never quit, because quitters don't win. And winners, although they may fail at a thing or two, they don't quit. My mother used to say that nothing beats a failure but a try. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep moving. Keep moving forward. But don't ever quit. Don't ever give up, because quitters don't win. And winners, they never quit. And no matter what happens on this day, you should always remember there's no such thing as a bad day. There are some bad things that happen in the day, but the day itself, all of them are blessings from above. Never quit, never give up. And every once in a while, even though we forget, sometimes you just got to ask for some help. That's why God made knees. Sometimes we need to get on them. Love reins us in. That's our daily bread for today, April the 8th. And no matter what happens this day, it is still, as it always been, a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine if you can.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Love Reins Us In, was written by Win Collier. Most young Samoan boys receive a tattoo signaling their responsibility to their people and their chief. Naturally, then, the marks cover the arms of the Samoan men's rugby team members. Traveling to Japan, where tattoos can carry negative connotations, the teammates realized their symbols presented a problem for their hosts. In a generous act of friendship, the Samoans wore skin-colored sleeves covering the designs. "We're respectful and mindful to the Japanese way," the team captain explained. "We'll be making sure that what we're showing will be okay." In an age emphasizing individual expression, it's remarkable to encounter self-limitation, a concept Paul wrote about in the book of Romans. He told us that love sometimes requires us to lay down our rights for others. Rather than pushing our freedom to the boundaries, sometimes love reins us in. The apostle explained in chapter 14 how some people in the church believed they were free to eat anything, but others ate only vegetables. While this might seem like a minor issue, in the first century, adherence to Old Testament dietary laws was controversial. Paul instructed everyone to stop passing judgment on one another, before concluding with particular words for those who ate freely. It is better not to eat meat or drink wine or to do anything else that will cause your brother or sister to fall. At times, loving another means limiting our own freedoms. We don't have to always do everything we're free to do. Sometimes, love reins us in. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Romans chapter 14, verses 1 through 13. Accept the one whose faith is weak, without quarreling over disputable matters. One person's faith allows them to eat anything, but another, whose faith is weak, eats only vegetables. The one who eats everything must not treat with contempt the one who does not, and the one who does not eat everything must not judge the one who does, for God has accepted them. Who are you to judge someone else's servant? To their own master, servants stand or fall, and they will stand, for the Lord is able to make them stand. One person considers one day more sacred than another. Another considers every day alike. Each of them should be fully convinced in their own mind. Whoever regards one day as special does so to the Lord. Whoever eats meat does so to the Lord, for they give thanks to God. And whoever abstains does so to the Lord and gives thanks to God. For none of us lives for ourselves alone, and none of us dies for ourselves alone. If we live for the Lord, and if we die for the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord. For this very reason, Christ died and returned to life, so that he might be the Lord of both the dead and the living. You then, why do you judge your brother or sister, or why do you treat them with contempt? For we will all stand before God's judgment seat. It is written, "As surely as I live, says the Lord, every knee will bow before me, every tongue will acknowledge God." So then, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister. Let's pray. Dear God, we are called to love our brothers and sisters in the Lord. No matter where we are in our faith journey, whether new to the faith or seasoned and mature, we all have a role to play. If we're young in Christ, help us seek advice from those stronger and more mature. If we've been believers for a long time and are wise, help us to be a support and an instructor to those who aren't. In all we do, may we be humble and considerate of one another, loving one another as you love us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
All righty, you've had the word. Now it's time to get up with the birds. Time to get up, time to get moving, time to get motivated. Don't go back to sleep. Next thing you know, you'll be unemployed. Then you can stay at home a long time until they put you out. Anyway, good morning to you. I mean, it's time to, get up. Yeah, I ain't doing PT today. I get kind of lazy today. We'll start the PT again next week. Anyway, now let's pay homage to all of our armed forces: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Fire Department, Police Department, my good friends in the Montgomery Sanitation Department, and to all the people who go in when everybody else is running out. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. Oh, hey, oh, 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 hey, oh. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Farewell to all these songs they sing and never take. Who are as night or shore, hail to the fore. Until we meet once more, it's best you are happy for it's home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through love we hail and shout and shout to win our victory. Send the practices of God, our prayers are modeled too. We're always ready to or die. I constantly fight for you. Up we go into the wide blue yonder, climbing high into the sky. Here they come to lead our thunder. And boys in the gun. And we die, starting a flame from under, up with one terrible roar. We lay everything from a drowning flame, for nothing can stop the USA force. I don't really know about that. I mean, there may be something. I don't know what, but there may be something. It's time to rise and shine, jarheads. I know. We call you that affectionately, of course. Anybody want to hear my story about my Marine Corps thing? Anybody want to hear that one more time? I mean, I'll tell you, if you're really interested in it, how my trajectory changed in life because of 3 little words. I could have probably been a sergeant major of the Marine Corps right now. Okay. I know that's a stretch. Well. That's right. A well is deep. Oh, I tell you, I'm feeling pretty good today. I feel pretty good every day, though. That's I don't know if that's a sickness or not. I mean, I feel pretty good every day. Now, I must admit, there are some days you want to lay in bed just a little bit longer, but so I got this thing. I drink water every night, right? A lot of it stuff. So make sure I'm not late for work. So just in case the alarm doesn't go off, my other alarm will come on. Well, come on. You got to get up and take care of your business. And so, I got used to doing that in the Army, because first sergeant told me I was late one time, right? I was late. Listen. Now, there are a lot of things you can be in the military, but late is not one of them. Okay, so I was late one time, and I was the I was like the midnight baker, when I was doing those kind of duties, and I was late getting over there. So the first sergeant came to me and said, he came back. I did make some great cinnamon rolls though, which is the only reason why I didn't lose the strike, because I made great cinnamon rolls, and the first sergeant liked them and had his stuff ready every morning. And he said, your alarm clock is on your collar. Now we can even replace those 3 stripes with 2 or 1, or you can remember this counseling and this don't happen again. So I said to myself, how do I make sure that I'm never late for work in the morning? How do I do that? Because alarm clocks, they go, sometimes they don't go, So I said, okay, so I'll drink 2 cups of water every night, right before I go to bed. And then it takes you got to get at least twice, get ready. And every time I got up, I checked and saw what time it was. So I solved my problem, and I just do it now too. I just drink at night too. Make sure that I get up on time, whether or not, because I had 2 phones one time, right? And the battery went dead on me. So therefore, I was almost late getting here. Almost, not quite, but almost. I was late, but nobody knew. So anyway, so that's how I get up every morning. I make sure that I drink water at night, or milk or something like that, to make sure that it reminds me that at some point in the morning, if you're alive and the good Lord says the same, you got to get up early. Okay, so now you know my secret to getting here on time every morning. Okay, that's a secret to this. I gotta drink the water thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get a brother up. Yeah, 2 things to get you up at night. One of them's water. We'll be back right after this. It is 6:32 in the morning, right here on News Radio 1440. I bid you all a great morning. I hope you feel blessed. I hope you feel healthy. And if you do got problems, call me and tell me. We'll talk about it.
Yes. Say, I know that a change is going to come one day. I know a change is going to come.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Express Employment Professionals matches people with the right skills.
I need some better
the
tea.
right jobs, from the production floor to the front office. To find the right person for your job, you can't beat Express's incredible local support. Visit ExpressPros.com to find a location near you.
You really can't make tea
across the area
in the microwave.
During the morning hours.
It doesn't quite taste the same. You got to hit that boil of water on it. Ain't working out.
Low 80s.
Okay, what else
really
going
nice
on?
Afternoon ahead. Tonight, late, scattered showers and storms will develop. Those 60 scattered showers and storms that could be strong with hail and high to possibly damaging wind gusts on Friday. Won't rain all day, and then
Rodney!
Strong wind potential Saturday.
JD!
First alert
And who else
forecast
is
on
out there?
meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Tonya!
Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Darren, nay, Rush Brown. Okay, I'm
It's
good.
better at Brubaker
That
on
sounds good to me.
News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good as far as accidents go. Got a band of rain passing through the listening area this morning. So going to be wet and slippery as you head out. So make sure you leave early, drive slower. And if it is raining, make sure you keep the headlights on low beam. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. Shopping is festive at the Festival Plaza. Visit the comic shop, Montgomery Cardiovascular Health and Fitness Center, and more. Festival Plaza, Taylor and Vaughn, another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up, front and back, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
It's a different year. You need to reach your potential customers, and your customers need to be able to find you. Let Cumulus Media help. We've built a unique opportunity for you to connect your business with River Region homeowners that are looking for your products and services. Radio, digital, and lead generation for your business, helping you reach hundreds of thousands of people in this area. You need to talk to Cumulus Media. Call Don Polno at 334-240-2257. That's 334-240-2257.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure.
Composed of
Sure it
hundreds
is.
of thousands
Sure it
of
is.
citizen soldiers from all walks of life, and in every corner of America, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. The Army National Guard reacts to domestic operations in each of America's 54 states and territories, including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the District of Columbia. Each state National Guard's unique domestic role is to act as the first line of defense in support of civil authorities in their state. The Guard's emergency responses include search and rescue missions for floods, combating wildfires, hurricane and tornado recovery, and the presidential inauguration. The Army National Guard. We are always ready. We are always there. And in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Aaron Tippett. I've been blessed to be able to make a living at what I love, making music for more than 25 years. But it didn't get there overnight. There were a lot of long days and nights of working just to make ends meet.
know that's right.
Good things in life don't always come easy. But when you sweat for what you want, it makes it even sweeter when you get it. So remember to work hard, and when the opportunities present themselves, you got to be ready to grab them. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Hey, is that a faucet running?
Nope, that's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest.
It is?
Yeah, forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. The water comes straight from the forest to us. In fact.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
How do trees clean the air?
They soak up the dirty air on their leaves, branches, and trunks, which means clean air for us.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep, but the forest does more than give us clean air and water. It gives us shade for hot days, birds to listen to, and trees to climb.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know how cool the forest could be. Hey, let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Rush Limbaugh Show. And these people look absolutely pathetic. After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIP Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
It is a Thursday morning. Now, normally I have a pastor come on at 7, but not today because I actually couldn't find anybody that, I don't know what happened to, well, I'll get him back soon. Now, hopefully within the next 60 to 90 days, 30 to 90 days, we'll be able to bring people back in the studio. And, life's good. We'll get people down here and talk to you, all kind of thing. Today at 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock somewhere, we're going to talk about a little about real estate. Now, I don't know much about real estate, except every month I got to pay, I got to pay the mortgage. That's all I know about real estate. And I know whether you rent or buy, you pay for the place you occupy. Okay. So, but we'll talk a little bit about her. A couple minutes about that. Miss Love, I think that's her name. We're going to talk to her and, something different, So, of course, somebody could say, "Yeah, what about redlining?" Okay, I don't think there's anything that we can bring up in Alabama that somehow doesn't make its way back to that dreaded R word. Okay, anything we can be talking about potato chips, and somebody will put the R word into the conversation. I don't get it. But anyway, that's the way we roll over down here. That's the way we roll. I don't know. Somebody told me 40 years ago I'd be living in Montgomery, Alabama. I said, you must be crazy. Alabama, there are a lot of places to live in the world, but Alabama wouldn't be a place that's even on my most generous radar screen. Anyway, good morning to you. It is time to rise and shine and go back and tell you some of the things that had happened on this day. Now, every morning, I put a lessons of life, because life teaches us many lessons every day, right? And sometimes we have to pay attention to the lessons, right? We don't. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. And then if we don't pay attention to the lessons, then we find ourselves back in the same position that we were in. I know. I know that's what I've done many times. Anyway, lesson of life today. You can cry because the journey is over. Or you can love even more because the journey happened. You know, some people, and I understand it, we saddened by the loss of our loved ones. But maybe we should be thankful that they came into our lives and extract all the good, extract all the great things from that person. Okay. So don't be so sad sometimes. You know, be glad that you had the opportunity to walk, to laugh, to cry with that person. Okay. Keep his memory alive, or her memory alive. The word of the day is bursk. That's right. Bursk. Bursque. What does that mean? Well, it means markedly short and abrupt, blunt in manner. So I guess that kind of, you know, identifies me. Speech often to be point of ungracious harshness. Okay. Well, I mean, you know, that sounds like me. I guess I'm a little bit, you know, ungracious at times and a little harsh at times. But y'all give it back to me too, you know. So that's not a problem. Okay, I can handle it. So I guess a lot of us out here are a little bit bursk. Okay, a little bit bursk. Bursque. Markedly short and abrupt, blunt in manner or speech, often to the point of ungracious harshness. So the next time your boss is a pain in the butt, you say, "Sir, you are awfully bursk this morning." Now he won't have a clue of what you're talking about. See, unless it's Kevin helping that. But he won't have a clue. So you can insult him. He'll thank you for it, and you can walk out the room. Okay? It is April the 8th. Believe it or not, it's hard to believe this. It is the 98th day of this year. It was April the 8th, 1994, when Kurt Cobain, singer and guitarist for the grunge band Nirvana, was found dead in Seattle from apparently a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And believe it or not, he was only of the age of 27. Wow, that's tough. In 1864, the United States Senate passed 38-6, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which was to abolish slavery. Now, the House of Representatives passed it in January 1865. The amendment was ratified and adopted in 1865 as well. You know, in 1865, Alabama did not have a senator in the Senate. And I don't know why that was. I did some research on it, but Alabama did not have a senator up there. And that was really kind of weird. You know, the 13th Amendment, I'm going to stick with this for a couple minutes, because the 13th Amendment, it did abolish slavery. It was supported by 100% of the Republicans in the House, and only 23% of the Democrats supported it. And I'm still trying to figure out how we got this love affair with the Democratic Party. The 15th Amendment, the right to vote for all, was supported by 100% of Republicans and 0% of the Democrats. Now, we put this tail on the Republican Party, and according to their voting record, the party itself wants to give individuals their God-given right to do things, whereas the Democrats historically have wanted to separate you from those rights. Okay, let's go to the 14th Amendment. Citizenship for freed slaves. It was supported by 94% of the Republicans and 0% of the Democrats. Now, here's another thing. The great state of Delaware, which is the which is the place where our president is from, well, they rejected the 13th Amendment. It took them 36 years. Okay, Delaware took 36 years to ratify the 13th Amendment. I'm just, Delaware rejected several proposals to abolish slavery. Now that is where the president is from. I'm not saying he wasn't there. He was almost back there then, but he wasn't back there then, including Lincoln's 1861 proposal to compensate Delaware slave owners using federal funds if they would just free the black people that they held bondage. So what I couldn't figure out, now this is the state where the president of the United States is from. Okay, took him 36 years, and even with Lincoln in 1861 said, listen, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna write you a check, and listen, how often do people turn down money? But they did, because it was more important that the state of Delaware was able to misuse people. Okay, I just want they were, I want president for. I didn't make it up. Okay. The 6 senators who voted against the 13th Amendment were a Democrat from California named James A. McDougal, a Democrat named Willard Salisbury Sr. from Delaware, George R. Riddle, a Democrat from Delaware, Lazarus W. Powell, a Democrat from Kentucky, Garrett Davis, which at the time was a Unionist from Kentucky, and here's a bad one for me, Thomas A. Hendricks, a Democrat from Indiana. In contrast, 56 members of the House voted against it too, 50 Democrats and 6 Unionists, and only 7 more votes than the 2/3 that they required. So, even Northerners voted against it too, but I found that to be interesting that Delaware, I think that's where Biden is from, was the senator from Delaware, the state the size of Montgomery. It's kind of interesting, and all of the Democrats back in those days voted against freeing people. And I don't know where in the hell we got this thing now. We think the Democrats looking out for people. I don't know. It's still the same party. I know. It's still the same party. So if it were not for the Republican Party, we'd probably be still back on the buggy, picking big cotton. And I tried to pick up one of them cotton bills one time. I couldn't do it. I don't know how the brothers did it. That stuff. Anyway, moving right along. We can talk about that one of these days. In 1911, an explosion at the Banner coal mine in Littleton, Alabama, claimed the lives of 128 men, most of them convicts loaned out from the prison. Oh, I see. Well, we don't want to take people from the prison now and make them work for free. Okay. I see what you're shoveling. I see what you're throwing down. I don't blame them for one. Okay. I'm with you, brother. Stay in jail. In 1913, the 17th Amendment to the Constitution, providing for popular election of U.S. senators as opposed to appointment by state legislatures, was ratified. President Woodrow Wilson became the first chief executive since John Adams to address Congress in person as he asked lawmakers to enact tariff reform. In 1952, that was the year, President Harry S. Truman seized the American steel industry to avert a nationwide strike. The Supreme Court later ruled that Truman had overstepped his authority, opening the way for a 7-week strike by steelworkers. The year was 1961. A suspected bomb exploded aboard a passenger liner MV Dara in the Persian Gulf, causing it to sink. 238 of the 819 people aboard were killed. And in 1963, on this day, Lawrence of Arabia won the Oscar for Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Gregory Peck won Best Actor for To Kill a Mockingbird. And I tell you, if you've never seen To Kill a Mockingbird, you need to see that movie. It really is an outstanding movie. While Anne Bancroft received Best Actress honors for The Miracle Worker. 1974, on this day, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit his 715th career home run in a game against the Los Angeles Dodgers, breaking Babe Ruth record. Some people still mad about that one. 1988, TV evangelist Jimmy Swaggart resigned from the Assemblies of God after he was defrocked for rejecting an order from the church's national leader to stop preaching for a year amid reports he had consorted with a prostitute. Well, as long as it wasn't God, we good. In 1990, Ryan White, the teenage AIDS patient whose battle for acceptance had gained national attention. He died in Indianapolis at the age of 18. In 1993, singer Marian Anderson died in Portland, Oregon at the age of 96. In 2003, kidnapper rapist John Jamneski, whatever his name is, which he didn't call his name, who had imprisoned 5 women and girls, one after another, as sex slaves inside his makeshift dungeon in his DeWitt, New York home, was arrested. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of first-degree kidnapping and is serving 18 years to life, okay, in a maximum security prison. Okay, then. In 2013, President Barack Obama warned Congress not to use delaying tactics against the tighter gun regulations and told families of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victim during the visit to Hartford, Connecticut, that he was determined as ever to honor their children with tougher laws. British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, that was a hell of a leader for a woman, died at the age of 87. She died in London. Actress and former Disney Mouseketeer Annette Funicello, 70, died in Bakersville, California. And 10 years ago, Somalia pirates hijacked the U.S. flag Max Alabama. Although the crew was able to retake the cargo ship, the captain, Richard Phillips, was taken captive by the raiders and held aboard a lifeboat. Phillips was rescued 4 days later by Navy SEAL snipers who shot 3 of the pirates dead. I mean, I'm not saying it's never a good idea to have violence, but if you're going to have violence, make sure the other guy loses. A Russian spacecraft carrying a crew of 3, including U.S. billionaire space steward Charles somebody, landed safely in Kazakhstan, and David Pop Winans Sr., patriarch of the award-winning Winans gospel music group, that died in Nashville, Tennessee at the age of 74. And it was 5 years ago, I got time for this, the U.S. said it would keep its current force of 450 land-based nuclear missiles, but remove 50 from their launch silos as part of a plan to bring the U.S. into compliance with the 2011 U.S.-Russia Arms Control Treaty. Brianna Stewart scored 21 points, and Stephanie Dolson added 17 points and 16 rebounds to help UConn beat Notre Dame. We got cheated again. Okay, we're always getting cheated. Giving the Huskies a record 9th women's national championship. No, we always cheat Notre Dame. I think Alabama cheated Notre Dame too. They just always stick into us. 1 year ago, Patrick Reed won the Masters, somebody I never heard of, a golf tournament for his first victory in a major, turning back late challenges from Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth, Chuck McCann, and a zany comic hosted by a TV show in the 1960s before branching out to a character actor in films, whatever he said anyway. I lost that guy's name. Oh, Chuck McCain, excuse me. Chuck McCann. That's right. A zany comic who hosted a children's TV show in the 1960s that I must have missed that one, before branching out as a character actor in films and on TV, died at 83 years old of congested heart failure. And is that it? Is that a year ago? I guess that was a year ago. Oh, 1 year ago. Yeah, that was 1 year ago. Okay, well, that's the end of that again. Also, just for filler here, I don't want anybody to say that I don't report on everybody. So, I have to report on this. An accountant at a private school in Selma, Alabama, has been arrested and charged with stealing $10,000. Dallas County Sheriff Mike Grantham said Jennifer Robertson, 43, of Selma, is charged with theft of property. He says she has been on the accountant for the Meadowview Christian School for several years. He says an investigation lasting a couple of months found that $10,000 had been stolen from the school. Don't be stolen from the school. They don't have enough money as it is. Morning, who's this? Yes. Why is that? Yeah. We're working on it still. Yeah. The city council, a lot of members on the city council don't have the go-dance to say yeah. Yeah, go right in. Yeah. What? Valdemar, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Heard of a high wire group that family that met called the Amazing Walendas?
One of them died a couple days ago.
You talked about them being the Walendas.
Listen, what do names matter?
The word is brusque.
What did I say? Oh, well, it looks like. Well, I was trying to remember how to pronounce it. I looked it up. So what is Bursk, right? Bursk? Brusque. Okay, well, it looks like it's spelled Bursk. Well, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah. A little constructive criticism don't ever hurt. Yeah, that's right. The review book, the real good. Okay. Well, you keep me out. Yeah, I pronounced that word correctly last night when I looked it up. I don't know why I got here this morning and lost my mind. But now it's brusque, right? Okay, I got you. I don't know why it looked like burst to me. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, can I tell you, brusque? Okay then. Well, anyway, I guess that's it. Now listen, I don't. Some of these words, I'm telling you, they didn't make these words for black people to pronounce. I'm just telling you. Now I can pronounce African words almost with a expertise that somebody who lived it their whole life. I can even pronounce them just looking at them, because deep down inside me, I'm really an African man. My native tongue is Africano. Maybe I'm from the Swahito. Swahito. That's why Swahili. Wherever it's at anyway. Anyway, we'll okay, let me go see if I can pronounce a couple more of these words. I'll be back after this. This is News Radio 1440 on your dial. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine.
USFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. The state legislature is getting closer to agreeing on a new Alabama lottery. The Senate passed the first of two bills required to get that process going. That measure passed by a vote of 30-2. It now moves on to the House for consideration. If it passes there, Alabama voters get it next. Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill announced yesterday he will not seek elective office next year. This comes after allegations of an extramarital affair detailed in a report from AL.com. The site reports Merrill initially denied the allegations, then confirmed he had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with another woman. And in coronavirus coverage this morning, the U.S. has reached a milestone in its COVID vaccination efforts. According to data from the CDC, nearly 25% of adults in the country have been fully vaccinated. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, Montgomery, a Cumulus station. This is the CBS World News Roundup, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. Today, the president's expected to take action on guns with a package of executive orders to curb violence. CBS's Stephen Portnoy with details.
The executive order is aimed at so-called ghost guns, kits sold to enthusiasts who, with the right know-how and equipment, can assemble their own firearms without serial numbers. Advocates say ghost guns shouldn't be sold without background checks. The measure also targets arm stabilizers, which the White House says can turn a semi-automatic pistol into a short-barreled rifle and make a shooter's aim more precise.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants the feds to shut down a child migrant facility in San Antonio over concerns about child abuse and neglect.
This facility is a health and safety nightmare.
More Americans have gotten vaccinated against COVID-19, but medical experts are still concerned about the new UK variant, which is moving those numbers up. CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus.
There are over 100 million adults to go for vaccination. And what we're seeing now is a dramatic rise, particularly younger individuals, kind of 12 to 19 years of age, are becoming more and more infected.
The new variant spreads much faster and seems to be making patients much sicker. There's been a lot of concern over the AstraZeneca vaccine after regulators found a link to blood clots. Allison Assels is a pharmacist. Her brother Neil died of a cerebral blood clot on Easter Sunday, 10 days after getting the vaccine. She says she has mixed
The
feelings.
sister in me still feels absolutely furious and very angry that this has happened to my brother. But despite what has happened to Neil and the impact on our family, I still strongly believe that people should go ahead and have their vaccine.
She says she knows more people will die if they avoid getting the shot. In Minneapolis, another day of testimony in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Here's CBS News correspondent Jamie Yukas.
Prosecutors trying to deflate the defense's argument that George Floyd's drug use caused his death. The defense played video of Floyd resisting police for James Ryerson, the lead investigator in the case.
Did it appear that Mr. Floyd said, "I ate too many drugs"?
But prosecutors replayed the video from an earlier point.
Are you able to tell what Mr. Floyd is saying there?
Yes, I believe Mr. Floyd is saying, "I ain't do no drugs."
And San Francisco's school board has changed its mind and will not take away the names of founding fathers and other historical figures from 44 schools. The original decision got heavy criticism, including from the city's mayor, who called the plans offensive and completely unacceptable. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
Hey, I'm Brad, and as you know, one of the worst things you can say in any business, or in life for that matter, is, "But we've never done it that way before." That approach stops us from making decisions that could have been great. We just keep doing the same thing, even if we're not happy with it, even while we're complaining about it. We just keep doing it. What if there's a better way? This is why considering MediShare for your healthcare bills is such a great idea. It works. It's less expensive. It's convenient. It's a better way for so many people to pay for their healthcare. And thinking, but we've never done it that way before, is a great way to miss out on major savings. The typical family saves $500 a month, and you miss out on the huge network of doctors, the free telehealth services, the great customer service, and being a part of something that matters, with more than 400,000 members sharing each other's healthcare bills. So you've never done it this way before? No problem. Just call. You can start saving right now. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
First Lady is helping military families. First Lady Jill Biden is fulfilling a campaign promise by reviving Joining Forces, a decade-old program focused on supporting military and veteran families with employment and entrepreneurship opportunities, as well as education for children.
We have to help you carry this weight by improving access to mental health resources, ensuring everyone can put food on the table.
Dr. Biden said 22% of military spouses are unemployed.
Service members
You need to get a
cannot
job.
be focused on their mission if their families don't have what they need to thrive at home.
Boy, we got a whining nation.
Buying an engagement ring is stressful and expensive. Shaq to the rescue. Shaquille O'Neal was in a jewelry store. He said he saw a guy looking at the rings, asking the salesperson how long it would take to pay it off. So he told the guy he'd take care of it. Guy said no. Shaq responded, I do it all the time. I'm just trying to make people smile. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Imagine your family enjoying their brand new outdoor living space this spring and summer. Then call Genesis Renovations and get started now with a free estimate. 462-6413. Genesis Renovations can deliver a premier deck, a one-of-a-kind pergola or gazebo, or any type of wood fencing project you have in mind. Comfort, beauty, and satisfaction at the fairest of prices guaranteed. Serving the River Region and Lake Martin. Genesis Renovations. 334-462-6413 and online at gen-corp.org.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
And what kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Work Week, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars?
Even the stars. Right now, off plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/stars. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/stars. That's BLINKIST.com/STARS.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
I got you.
I've run out of answers, I've run out of time, and I'm so confused that I'm losing my mind. It's gonna take a miracle to help me this time. I'm traveling a road that has not one sign. People have the...
Okay, now I'm going to do something I've never really tried to do. Now, you guys can talk about it, whatever you want to talk about. But I'm going to try to do something I've never really tried to do. You know, Thursdays traditionally is, and I don't mind if anybody calls it smarter than I am on this subject here, because there are a lot of people smarter than I am on this subject. But we're going to talk about little religion from my perspective this morning. Okay, from my perspective. I didn't say I'm right. Could be totally wrong. But I want to talk about my perspective. You know, it seems to me that we pay a lot of lip service to believing in God. I mean, we do. We pay a lot of lip service to it. We do. But when it actually comes to putting the belief into action, we really, I'm just perplexed sometimes of what we say we believe. Now, if we believe in God and God is in charge of everything, which I believe he is, why do we constantly whine about where we are in life? See, now that's what And that's the only part that I don't quite get. Why do we whine so much sometimes? I did a thing on Monday, and it's called. The guy did a thing, and I'll play it on Friday tomorrow one more time. It's called Trust God. And so my problem is that do we really I got a problem now, and I may be all by myself on this one. I may be all by myself on this one, and if I'm wrong, so be it. But we take guns in churches now for protection. Okay, from a pragmatic, from a matter of pragmatism, okay, guns will get the bad guy. I'm with you. But on the other hand, if it's really a house of God, why do we need to carry guns in church? I mean, again, now some would argue, some say, well, God didn't say we had to be stupid and we don't need to protect ourselves. Okay, that's a good argument. He didn't say that. I didn't say that. But why do we? We complain. Okay, and somebody wrote me a text, you don't understand faith. I believe I'm a little bit more faithful than a lot of people who say they are. Now I got a question that I got to ask. Like the other day, I was reading Luke, right? I was reading Luke, and I believe it was a Luke where Thomas said, I want to put my hands in your side, and I want to put my hand in your side, and I want to see where the nails were in your hand. Now, was that Thomas? Yeah, Thomas. Thomas walked with Jesus. Now, according to all the things we've been told, but he didn't have what I would consider very good belief. You walk with the man and you see him do all kinds of things, but we are told, I'm just saying, we are told we should believe, and even though we didn't have an opportunity to walk with Jesus Christ, we are told we should just believe. So my problem is that, that's called faith. I'm with you. But my problem is that then how is it that people who walk with Jesus, according to what we've been taught and told, didn't seem to have that faith? So a lot of them didn't. Some of them did, but a lot of them didn't. I just thought, do we really trust God? Or is it just something that we like to say all the time to make us let people know we go to a church? I mean, do we really trust in him? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I got to wonder. You know what I mean? Anyway, come on, who's this? What about? What, Hank Aaron? Yeah. Okay, Henry Aaron, Hank Aaron. We call him Hank. Okay, that's what we call him, Hank Aaron. I could care less. That's what we call him. I don't know that. I don't know. Why they call William Bill? Who knows? That's what ain't my and not my girl. Yeah. Okay. 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 I don't know. I don't really. I don't really care about baseball. Okay. 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 Well, since he's from a state that voted against freeing him, I guess he's trying to make up for it for freeing the slaves. I'm free. I'm free. I mean, oh, nobody ever said it's gonna be easy, and everybody gets some of that. Ain't just black folks get that. Okay, but again, I can't do nothing about that. I haven't discriminated against any of them, so I don't know about that. I don't. Okay, that's what you say. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Mm.
Today, she confirmed what you said about Bobby. Had her daughter come up there and feed you because you were hungry. I'm gone.
All right then. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
We were 50-50.
I'm free. Now y'all don't have to be free. If y'all want to still be a slave to something, that's up to y'all. Y'all can make that choice. Okay. Again, our poverty rating is because we do a lot of stupid things with our money. But wait a minute. That's not the subject I'm on. That's not the subject I'm on right now. No, he did 50-50. That's early this morning. This is. I asked. The question I asked: do we really trust God? Do we really believe what we say? Why with that? I'm saying, do we really though? We because now you've been whining for a long time about being screwed, glued, and tattooed about your, but you've been whining for years, and that's good. Okay, yeah. Mm, right. Again, though, I think, have you prayed about it? Yeah, I said, have you prayed about it? Have you asked God to help you with it? Okay, then leave it alone. Mm, I don't know about Michelangelo. Yeah. Mm, okay. Okay. All righty then. Appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? I'm free. Well, I'm not bound. I mean, except again, where in the world has there ever been any part of humanity that has not been discriminated against? So what? How does it do that? What? Wait a minute. It ain't there. Wait a minute. It ain't there. It ain't their fault that they spend money investing, reinvesting in their own businesses, and we don't. Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I sure do. Well, I don't remember it ever not being law. So, yeah. I can still get killed with a seatbelt on. We're taking precautions because good Lord didn't get rid of common sense. Uh, so, so uh, Common sense means you don't jump off the Empire State Building and think you're a bird. Well, he also said, "Don't tempt me either." Too. He said, I mean, he didn't say be a fool. Okay, yeah.
What did Jesus do when he went into the temple?
Well, depends. Well, he destroyed he turned all the tables over and stuff like that. But well, I don't know. I don't know if he ever said he beat the hell out of him. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. Now that part I don't know. Wasn't there. Well, if I had it in my head, I may, I may, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, I'm with you. I mean, God ain't a will. Yeah. Yeah. And I never quite understood that one, but okay. Like when God killed during Passover, when we killed all the firstborn, I don't quite understand that one either. Why would we kill? But the firstborn didn't do anything. I mean, the little babies didn't do anything. Yeah, 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 and he did. Yeah, and he did. Yeah, yeah. All right, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? Yes,
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
Okay, you know I'm coming after you.
No, I know you are. So let's get it on.
Okay, this is the way I am. The word, irregardless of what happens with individuals in the Bible, doubting or anything else, being ordinary people just like we are on this earth, I still believe because they didn't have we as people now in present day, we have the whole Word of God presented in the Holy Bible. So he's not going to force anyone to believe. Kevin, it's up to you. Christianity, Christ's Word, the Word of God, it's presented to you, and it's up to you to accept. He is not going to force anyone to do anything. He's giving you examples. Those examples don't change today, in today's time. They are still true now. Those were individuals, human beings on this earth, just like us, that they came.
But I guess my problem is that. Well, let me add, the issue. If I had an opportunity to walk with Christ day to day, go in there, how in the world could I doubt the things I have saw, the things that I experienced? How can I not? But and we're asked to have that same faith, even though we weren't there. We didn't get a chance to walk, but we got people to walk with them that doubt it. That to me, I don't.
That there would be doubters. He already knew what they were thinking before they thought it. Okay? Don't remember, you have to keep in mind those were human beings. I wouldn't feel if God appeared before me right now, and I know that He has worked in my life so many times, Kevin. And I have told you that before on the air. I'm not going to deny my Father. I don't even feel that I'm worthy for Him to use me the way that He does when he wants to use me, I'm resisting. It's because, Father, I'm not worthy of that. I'm so imperfect. How can you use an imperfect person?
Well, yeah, just about all of his right. Just about all of his disciples had issues. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. But my issue, but here's what I'm trying to get to. Then, if we believe that, why do we whine so much about our position, son, where we are? Because, uh, mm, mm. Well, I don't think God's intimidated by a question. I don't think God is intimidated by any question that I could ask. Yeah, and I'm just asking the question: do we really believe when we say we trust in God? Do we really believe? Okay, well, I didn't say you. I'm just and so, mhm, that's true. Mm. Well, I read it. Mm. All right. So why do we act like sometimes we're the only people going through some things? I mean, yeah. All right. All right. Okay. You too. We'll be back. 860-1440. I just want to know, do we believe what we say we believe, or we just like saying we believe it? I don't know. We'll be back.
This is my belief, you see. I need an angel.
The First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
If you're in the market for auto insurance, give Alpha's new quote combined tool a whirl. With on-screen discount alerts, you can see how much you'll save click by click. And if you bundle your home and life insurance with Alpha, save even more. Start saving with Alpha today. AlphaInsurance.com.
A batch of rain pushing across the area today, mainly during the morning hours, pushing from west to east. After 12 o'clock, I really think we're all dry, and it'll end up being sunny in the low 80s. A really nice afternoon ahead. Tonight, late, scattered showers and storms will develop, lows in the 60s. Scattered showers and storms that could be strong with hail and high to possibly damaging wind gusts on Friday. Won't rain all day, and then morning rain and storms, strong wind potential Saturday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident, 2800 block of Selma Highway. Also, 2 accidents on Atlanta Highway, one in front of Publix, the 4000 block, that's with injury, and another Taylor Road northbound at Atlanta Highway. So please use caution in both of those areas. You see something giving you trouble, contact us. We'll pass the info along. Appreciate your help. 567-9000. That's the number to call. MCS for an equity loan on your home, land, or auto. Good credit, slow credit, MCS in Wetumpka. It's just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. The state legislature is getting closer to agreeing on a new Alabama lottery. The Senate passed the first of two bills required to get that process going. That measure passed by a vote of 30-2. It now moves on to the House for consideration. If it passes there, Alabama voters get it next. Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill announced yesterday he will not seek elective office next year. This comes after allegations of an extramarital affair detailed in a report from AL.com. The site reports Merrill initially denied the allegations, then confirmed he had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with another woman. And in coronavirus coverage this morning, the U.S. has reached a milestone in its COVID vaccination efforts. According to data from the CDC, nearly 25% of adults in the country have been fully vaccinated. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Woke culture. It's choking America, erasing our history, threatening our freedoms, our laws, and even our police. Now, Grant Stinchfield exposes the secret woke agenda and the hidden players behind this very dangerous movement. Watch Stinchfield tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax TV as he reveals the real dangers to you and your family. Everyone is talking about Stinchfield because each night he gives you the cold, hard truth you need to know. Newsmax is now America's fastest growing cable news channel on all major systems. If you don't get it, call your cable operator. Tell them you want Newsmax or you'll switch. Remember, you can get Newsmax free on Roku, YouTube, Zumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, and smart TVs like Samsung, Sony, Vizio, or LG. It's even free on your smartphone. Just download the free Newsmax app and start watching. So find out about woke and its dangerous plans for America on Grant Stinchfield tonight. Just tune into Newsmax TV. It's real news for real people.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend only at the Garrett Coliseum. Browse over 30 hot tubs and swim spas from 5 major brands at up to 50% off. Financing is available and show admission is free. That's this weekend at the Garrett Coliseum in Montgomery. Visit spaexpo.com.
The Jordan B. Peterson Podcast with his very special two-part guest, Joe Rogan.
Oftentimes the last hour of a 3-hour podcast is the best hour.
Yeah, well, that intuition was certainly right and revolutionary.
Part of my revolutionary idea is just me being stubborn.
The Jordan B. Peterson Podcast and special guest, Joe Rogan. Download it free and easy at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from the Westwood One Podcast Network. Well, they are the two sexiest fat men alive. Really fat. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
And we are back. Let's go back to phones. Good morning. Who's this? Marty, my good Democrat friend. Good morning.
So it's not what Nene would do or what Scott would do or whatever the case is, but you would ask yourself, what would Christ do? And there's no condition about it. I put it this way, we're talking about getting angry. In the book of James, they call James, Christ gave James the name son of thunder, because James had he had a temper, and I want the temper. And we were talking about the disciples. He chose those disciples because they were worldly people, and he knew that he needed them in order to reach worldly people. All of them had their issues. Peter was a whoremonger. Paul was a killer, a massive killer. Moses was too. He killed an individual or what have you. And Matthew kept 2 books. He was a tax collector, and he kept 2 books. So he was kind of shady as well, but he used them. And at the beginning, yes, they did have doubt. You remember when they were on the water, they asked Peter to walk to him, and Peter took his eyes off of Christ and he stunk. He knew that, but he wanted to make them whole, and he knew that in working with them, he would be able to connect with other people. It's so encouraging to me because it tells a lot of us that regardless of what you've done, where you've been, you still have an opportunity to come to Christ, and he's going to come to you. He wants you to come to him.
All right. All right. Beautiful thing. Hey, appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? 736. I'm doing fine. No, that's not exact. No, that's not exactly what I said. What I said is I don't believe a man can actually love God. What makes you think Satan? What makes you think Satan got me? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did not the Bible say, "Let us reason together"? Wait a minute. Does it not say that? Okay. You always giving me to Satan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I don't mind the truth. Truth. But again, now, but again, though, how do you define truth? I've studied. Listen. I've been reading this Bible for 60 years. Again, I say, what is define? Tell me what truth is. I know. Can you tell me? Okay, Ed. Can you tell me how you define truth? How do you define truth? Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. You on there? Yes. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But if we are, but if we're, well, let me ask you a question. If we are born in a world that is that is fraught with sin, that nothing's perfect, then we cannot escape that environment. It's not perfect. We're not perfect. The world may be right, but we're not perfect. Well, I don't think we're. You know, yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I know some people have said that, but well, you would like to think that God's part of your life, but I don't consider myself a God. You know, I think that's awfully presumptuous. Hmm. Again, yeah. Mm. Hmm. Hmm. Right, 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 right. Okay. Mm. Okay. Hey, appreciate it. I'm taking one more call. They got to take a break. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Okay. I said it's easy. It's right, right. Well, I said it's easy to believe when you there, and even Thomas didn't believe, and he'd walk with Christ. So we are asked to believe all the things that we've been taught without that experience of walking with Christ. But some of the people who walk with Christ actually denied him as well as doubted. So I just found that to be contradictory. Hmm. Mm.
Example of a dog on a leash, and a dog, you can take him off the leash, but he's still in the backyard. Here's something I would want to say to him. Being a Christian, I know that no matter what your trials and tribulations are, they might be a surprise to you, but they're not a surprise to God. God has ordained those things to happen. And it's either, if you are a child of God, could be, it's for discipline. If you're a child of God, it's definitely to conform you to the image of Christ through trials and tribulations. I've gone through some very tough trials and tribulations in my life. But as a result of those trials and tribulations, my strength, my faith was strengthened. And I can say, having once been a very militant in your faith atheist, I am now an equally ardent believer in Christ. And so, I can go to my grave I'm not worried about it. I do believe if someone stuck a gun in my face and say, deny Christ, I would hope, and I think I would say, shoot me. You know, because Jesus said, if you deny me before man, I will deny you before the Father.
You know, you're a lot braver than I am. I have never could be an atheist, but I guess, you know, I got to, yeah, right. And I got a friend I talk to all the time, said, I do not believe there's a God. I said, what do you mean? I said, something had to create all of this. He said, yeah, but I just don't believe God did it. I said, then who did it? Who created all of this? I ain't never been that way. And I believe in science too, but I believe science merely provides us an avenue of some explanation of how we do what we do, not why we do what we do. Yeah. Well, it's a big universe. Interesting. Hey, I got to take a break. I'm short on time, but we'll be back.
I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine.
FA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Merrill. With Merrill Guided Investing, you have the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Get started at merrilledge.com/investing goals. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner, and Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. Member SIPC.
A batch of rain pushing across the area today, mainly during the morning hours, pushing from west to east. After 12 o'clock, I really think we're all dry, and it'll end up being sunny in the low 80s. A really nice afternoon ahead. Tonight, late, scattered showers and storms will develop, lows in the 60s. Scattered showers and storms that could be strong with hail and high to possibly damaging wind gusts on Friday. Won't rain all day, and then morning rain and storms with strong wind potential Saturday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident, 2800 block of Selma Highway. Also, 2 accidents on Atlanta Highway, one in front of Publix, the 4000 block, that's with injury, and another Taylor Road northbound at Atlanta Highway. So please use caution in both of those areas. You see something giving you trouble, contact us. We'll pass the info along. Appreciate your help. 567-9000. That's the number to call. MCS for an equity loan on your home, land, or auto. Good credit, slow credit, MCS in Wetumpka. Just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway, just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
It's a day of great jazz and beautiful nature in Montgomery. Jazz in the Garden, Saturday, April 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in historic Oak Park. Come out for this generational jazz experience from T. Baldwin Music, featuring Coleman Woodson Jr., Eamon Robinson, and David Boykin. While you're there, take a tour of the new improvements in the Montgomery Botanical Gardens. Bring your chairs, blankets, and picnics. Food vendors will be on site too. Jazz in the Garden, April 10th in Oak Park, sponsored by the City of Montgomery.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anita Chandra with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As a parent, it can be scary to hand the car keys to your teenager. To help your teen stay safe, be a good role model and follow traffic laws yourself. Set rules for your teen, including wearing a seatbelt, driving only during the day, and with limited distractions, including from their passengers. Finally, make sure your teen knows it is never okay to text and drive. For a sample driving agreement for teens, visit healthychildren.org.
There's a threat targeting America, one that's growing fast, but may still be hard to see. Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, often smaller than the head of a pin, this dangerous disease is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. And if left untreated, it can lead to arthritis, facial paralysis, and even memory and concentration problems, often called brain fog. As the threat of Lyme disease grows to more than 300,000 projected cases each year, it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside, even in your own backyard. It means seeing a doctor if you experience the symptoms of Lyme disease, which can include joint pain, flu-like symptoms, fever, fatigue, or sometimes bullseye-shaped rash. Set your sights on stopping Lyme. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org. Brought to you by the Stephen and Alexandra Cohen Foundation and this station.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
You know, one of these days I'll have to tell you guys what my real problem with Christianity, the way it is, the way it's displayed today. I think that everybody has to believe in something, and we all believe in something. We all believe in something. Even if you believe you don't believe, you believe that. So we all believe in something. The question is, why do we believe it? Now, I have explored many of the different Christendom religions or the practices, from Catholicism to Lutheran, Methodist, Episcopalian, Baptist, Church of Christ. I mean, you name them, there's a plethora of them. I believe in God because it makes sense to me. It just makes sense. We didn't get here by happenstance. We didn't just show up one day out there in the cosmos and the earth was exactly where it's supposed to be, and the moon's exactly where it's supposed to be, and the sun is not exactly where. I mean, you don't get order out of chaos. You have to take chaos and order it. So I don't have a problem believing in God and Jesus. Now, some people say that Jesus is God. I got a problem with that one because Jesus on many occasions in the Bible said, "No man get to the Father but by me," which tells me that they're two distinct entities, spurned from the same one, but still do. But that's a whole different story. I don't know. No, I believe that Jesus is God's son, which is what the Bible says. Okay, and it makes sense to me that God would send His Son here because we wasn't capable of fixing our own problems. We are incapable of fixing our own problems. We as human beings are incapable of trying to figure out even how to believe. That's why we got 3,300 different belief systems, different religious orders and sects. Sex. I said S-E-C-T, not S-E-X. You know what I mean? So we are confused as human beings, even how to believe, and sometimes what to believe. How can you go on one street and have 10 different churches who say we believe the same thing, but not quite? We believe the same thing, but not quite. You know, and so the Christendom is a hodgepodge of a little belief in this, a little belief in that. It's kind of confusing, to tell you the truth. One person says that well, Jesus is God, but Jesus said he didn't say he was God. Now he did say, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I understand the symbolism of that, but I don't know if he was saying that he was God. In many instances in the Bible where he made himself subordinate to God Almighty. I mean, himself. I mean, there are many places in the Bible where he did that. But you go to these churches, you go to different church. I mean, you can go to a different church every week, and pretty much get a different something about the interpretation is going to be different. Now I understand man, and there's where man gets involved in trying to put his little message in there at the same time, trying to. There's a friend of mine said there's a translation and then there's a transliteration. And then again, the love thing. I've been trying to figure out, is love an action or is it a feeling? When we say we love God, are we saying we got this warm, deep feeling down in our, like when we hug our kids and we hug our wives, when we hug our husband, are we saying that's the feeling we got? Is that the love we're talking about here? Or are we talking about doing those things that are commanded of us to do? Love one another, treat your neighbor fine, and do those kind of, take care of the little ones and the ones who can't take care of themselves. Is love an action or is it a feeling? I'd rather believe it's an action, because feelings come and go depending on the day, depending on when that sun's out or not. I believe that love from a Christian standpoint is the things that you do, not the things that you feel. At least that's just me. That's just me. It's the things that you do, because everybody can sit home, and say, I love Jesus. Now get out the way of that TV. It is what you do. It's the things that you do. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But if I'm wrong, I got plenty of company. Because again, go down any street in America, every town, and you can find 10 different churches sometimes on the same street. And if it's a long street, you can find more than that. But again, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't know. I depend on people that I go to church and listen to who know a little bit more than I do. Mr. Walker, Tony, Bart, my Catholic friends, they know more than I do. Well, I think they do anyway. No, they do. Yeah, they do. No, they do. They know more than I know. But again, it's all going to be on an individual choice that we all have to take in mind, and and work out our own advice, to work out our own salvation. But again, it all comes down to, what is love? When people say they love God, what does that actually mean? Because I don't believe it's a nice little warm feeling. It's got to be in the actions that you do that shows that. It's not this warm feeling, because you can't give God a hug. He can give you one. I don't think you can give God a hug. I don't know if you want to give God a hug. I don't know if you can handle that. Anyway, we'll be back. Anyway, great conversation.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. The state legislature is getting closer to agreeing on a new Alabama lottery. The Senate passed the first of two bills required to get that process going. That measure passed by a vote of 30-2. It now moves on to the House for consideration. If it passes there, Alabama voters get it next. Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill announced yesterday he will not seek elected office next year. This comes after allegations of an extramarital affair detailed in a report from AL.com. The site reports Merrill initially denied the allegations, then confirmed he had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with another woman. And in coronavirus coverage this morning, the U.S. has reached a milestone in its COVID vaccination efforts. According to data from the CDC, nearly 25% of adults in the country have been fully vaccinated. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, Montgomery, a Cumulus station. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. This week, European regulators said the AstraZeneca vaccine could be linked to blood clots, but the agency is still encouraging the shot, and the sister of one of the clot victims is echoing their sentiment.
59-year-old lawyer Neil Astles died from a brain bleed Easter Sunday, 10 days after getting the AstraZeneca vaccine. His blood work matched those of other
The
victims.
sister in me still feels absolutely furious this has happened to my brother.
But Alison Astles is also a pharmacist.
I still strongly believe that people should go ahead and have their vaccine.
She says more people will die if they start avoiding vaccination. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Australia is the latest country to say the AstraZeneca vaccine should not be given to people under 50. CDC says the most common COVID strain in the U.S. now is the new variant first found in England. And we are now seeing more cases in younger people. Here's CBS's Dr. David Agus.
Indoor sports, we're getting together much in larger environments, and we are letting down our guard. And so I think in school is appropriate, and we have to do it safely. But we can't do everything we had done prior to the pandemic. And we really need to put rules in place.
Today, President Biden will deliver remarks on gun violence prevention and is expected to announce some executive actions.
Among the actions President Biden is taking to address gun violence, an order to review federal policy on so-called ghost guns, self-assembled weapons that require no serial numbers. Another would review the use of stabilizing braces on pistols, which turns them into short-barreled rifles.
CBS's Weijia Zhang. 5 people were shot to death in a home in South Carolina. Among those killed, a doctor, his wife, and 2 of their grandchildren. Trent Ferris with the York County Sheriff's Office.
I've lived in Rock Hill my entire life, and Dr. Leslie was my doctor growing up. So that's how this is kind of a little hard on me.
Suspect is in custody. 2 national forests in the mountains of North Georgia have been vandalized, as we hear from CBS's Jim Crisula.
Someone has defaced rock faces and boulders with Native American carvings from pre-colonial times in the Chattahoochee and Oconee National Forest in the mountains of North Georgia. 5 boulders had scratches and 2 had paint on them. There are some 100-figure carvings known as petroglyphs in the protected area of 800,000 acres.
And the Masters are back. Honorary starter Jack Nicklaus helped get things going. The big question for golf fans, will Dustin Johnson become the 4th golfer ever to win back-to-back Masters champion titles? This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
Hey, I'm Brad, and as you know, one of the worst things you can say in any business, or in life for that matter, is, but we've never done it that way before. That approach stops us from making decisions that could have been great. We just keep doing the same thing, even if we're not happy with it, even while we're complaining about it, we just keep doing it. What if there's a better way? This is why considering MediShare for your healthcare bills is such a great idea. It works, it's less expensive, it's convenient, it's a better way for so many people to pay for their health care. And thinking, but we've never done it that way before, is a great way to miss out on major savings. The typical family saves $500 a month, and you miss out on the huge network of doctors, the free telehealth services, the great customer service, and being a part of something that matters, with more than 400,000 members sharing each other's healthcare bills. So you've never done it this way before? No problem. Just call. You can start saving right now. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88-BIBLE.
And retailer is the latest to go fur-free.
Saks Fifth Avenue is ditching fur, joining others including Macy's, Versace, and Prada. Saks says fur will be phased out of online and in-store brand partner and store label merchandise by the end of fiscal 2022. But it will continue selling shearling, goatskin, cattle hide, down feathers, leather, and faux fur products. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
I love this story. A 1st grader in Arkansas had an assignment to write a persuasive letter. Cameron Gardner decided she was tired of the girls' jeans her mom buys her from Old Navy that only had fake pockets. So she wrote Old Navy a letter that said, I do not like the front pockets of the girls' jeans are fake. I want front pockets because I want to put my hands in them. I would also like to put things in them. Not only did they write back, they thanked her for her feedback. They sent her 4 pairs of new girls' jeans with pockets that she inspired them to make. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Big money. The 25K Workday Payday. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text PAY, P-A-Y, PAY to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of
I can only imagine.
It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
What kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Work Week, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. Blinkist makes it easy to learn about pretty much anything.
Like the stars?
Even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/stars. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/stars. That's Blinkist.com/stars.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And good morning, everybody. Hey, don't forget, it is Uncle Sam's giveaway on News Radio 1440, sponsored by Headley Plumbing and Metal Buildings. That's right, we're in the final stretch of the tax deadline. So, but don't worry. You have a chance to win $5,000 to help with the stress, or use it however you wish. Enter to win today at newsradio1440.com. Uncle Sam's giveaway. That's right, brought to you by, listen to this, Headley Plumbing and Metal Buildings. So since you have some plumbing needs, or you need a metal building, those are the folks to call. I got to give them a call when they see they can come out and help me out here. Anyway, go to the website, News Radio 1440, and go to Uncle Sam's giveaway. You can win $5,000. Don't forget, brought to you by Headley Plumbing and Metal Buildings, okay? Now, a little bit, I expect to have a call in a few minutes, and when she does call, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate. Not a whole lot. I don't want. But real estate is important. Real estate is important, and you guys can ask a couple questions, or you can ask me a couple questions. I'll ask her a couple questions about what to do here. A lot of things being made about the new mask mandate by the mayor for the city of Montgomery. And again, I only have one question. It's an ordinance of law. Because I'm wondering, if you can't make me do it, then now I'm going to do it. Because I find some pragmatism to it. I don't argue about everything just to argue about it, which a lot of people do. They just argue about it just to argue about it. But I don't have a problem with the 30-day mandate. I mean, let me put it this way. It's not going to kill anybody to wear protection, okay? But I am wondering, is the mandate law, or is it an ordinance, or is it a law? And because if it's a law, if it's an ordinance, that means that you can go to jail. So the question is, can you go to jail in Montgomery the next 30 days if the popo catch you? Of course, they got enough to do already with the crooks and the robbers and the burglars. Now they don't really have time to go around and see who's got on the mask. But again, and maybe I can call one of our city councilmen, because I just want to know, can people actually go to jail? Because if it's a legitimate ordinance, then you can be incarcerated, my friend. So is it a law or is it a suggestion that we wear the mask? And is it enforceable? So that is the question that is being for us today. But now, if you're just gonna raise hell, just to raise hell about wearing the mask, I mean, now show me where it hurts you, then maybe we can have a conversation about it. Is it pragmatic? Yes, yes, it is. I know some of you don't know what the word pragmatic means. Okay, and I'll tell you a little bit here. Okay, but again, there's nothing dastardly about it. I don't think the mayor's overstepping his role. I mean, I think here's a question I ask some of you guys: does the government have a responsibility to look out for the welfare of the citizens? Okay, do they have that responsibility? Okay, I say they do. Everybody got on the governor. Well, you think this is Russia? You think this? Well, again, like the guy asked me a little while ago. Well, we do wear seatbelts. And I'm in the car by myself. I ain't going to kill nobody but me. If something happens, well, I may kill somebody else too. I don't want to do that. I'm just saying. So, do we whine too much about things? Now, there's some things that are worth raising hell about. Really, really. But I tell you, one of them is not wearing a mask to protect you and the people that are around you. I mean, that's just not worth raising hell about. It doesn't. It does not interfere with your freedom of choice, because you can choose not to leave the house, not to go to people's businesses, and I do believe businesses have the option of whether or not they're gonna let you in. Okay, so let me see. I know what this word means, but let me make sure that I have the definition correct, because I'm a wordsmith. Okay, now what's that word again? Okay, pragmatic, dealing with things sensibly and realistically in a way that is based on practical rather than theoretical considerations. I'm a wordsmith. I knew that's what that meant. Okay, practical, dealing with things sensibly and realistically. And realistically, we don't know to what end. We don't know how effective the vaccine is going to be yet. We don't know a lot of things. So the man just asked you to wear a mask for 30 more days. Come on. Let's save that energy. Let's save that energy for real fights. Okay. I got a friend of mine said, there are a lot of hills worth dying on. Make sure you pick the right hill. Okay. And wearing a mask is not the right hill. Okay. So while we spending that time raising hell about a mask, we can be doing other things. Okay. Now I'm gonna take a little break here, real quick, because I expect to have my guests as soon as I come back, and we'll talk about some other things. Okay. So can we get off the mask thing? Okay. But I do want to know, can you go to jail if you don't wear it? Brother. It's not going to kill anybody. We're protected. Brother.
the nights were long.
Love me some BJ Thomas. 860-1440 is the number here if you want to talk about something this morning that matters. You can give us a call. Lottery. I'm beginning to think it looked like we may get a chance to vote on one. I'm not sure yet though, so we don't know because down in the Alabama legislature, anything is possible not to happen. so let's hold on to let's hold that one to close to us right now. Okay. So did I solve the issue of masks? Okay. Did I solve that one? Okay, will everybody stop whining about that hill right now? That's a little molehill. Wait till the big hill comes. Then let's all get together and fight about that one. Okay, let's not fight about this one, okay? But I do want to know, can you go to jail? Where are my city council members at? 860-1440. Somebody out there got to tell me. Brantley, Pruitt, Jenrat, and the other guy. What's the other guy down in District 7? I can't pronounce the name. You never hear much from him. So maybe he's doing such a great job that we don't hear much. What is this? McGinnis? I think his name McGinnis. I think that's his name. Anyway, Arby and all those folks. I just need to know, can we go to jail if we don't? Because if we can't go to jail, then it's really not a law. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Sure. Now go ahead. But let me ask you. Now they did know they were coming for. But let me ask you something. You're a military man. You was in the military. If you have this many people complaining about you, something's wrong. Something's wrong. But this ain't. But this ain't quite the military. Well, you can complain all you. Yeah, you can complain all you want to, right? But again, though, they're not the military, though. But again, it's fair. But they're not in the military, though. They can quit. But what if their complaints are legitimate? What if they're legitimate? Yeah, yeah. We okay. I let me. I heard you, but I got to go to my guest. I got to go to my guest right now. We'll come back to this in a little bit after we get done talking to my guest this morning. Good morning. Fine. Now tell the folks who you are. Oh, okay. And so now I've talked about a lot of things. I never really talked about real estate. Tell me why it's important that we keep our nose to the ground on real estate, especially in the current situation that we live in now in Montgomery.
Um, it's just very important. As we know, real estate is the center of everything as it relates to our economy, with our day-to-day lives, where we're going to live at. Our school education system is actually funded through real estate. So it's just really important that we stay in touch with what's going on with real estate, whether it's what the interest rates are, what the percentage of houses that are selling is versus properties that are actually being rented out.
The real estate market, maybe you can explain something to me that I just don't understand. All of our houses are appraised by some method, but here in the county of Montgomery, there is no scientific method that is applied to that process. Now, why is that? Color, yeah. Yeah, but it does affect our neighborhoods, the value and the comps of the value of our homes. Yeah, they don't either. They don't know either. Okay. Well, I've asked this question a minute, and you're not in that department, and I got that. But we talking about value of land. I've often said that, and there are the people who complain about redlining and things of that nature. Um, I don't know if that's a figment of people's imagination, or is it something that is still there that's going on. I thought if you got the money, you can buy the property. Is that not so? Mhm. Yeah. Do you, and if you don't want to get involved in this question, do you believe that what we did, we've taken some pretty nice neighborhoods, and and if you can't answer this, that's okay, and put Section 8 housing amongst the people in those neighborhoods, and pretty much contributed to the downfall of a lot of neighborhoods in Montgomery. Would you disagree with that statement? Because people who don't pay for things don't keep it up the way people who pay for this stuff do. And I've seen. I'm not telling you what I'm thinking. I'm telling you that. See, a lot of people can't say it because they won't say it. But we've taken people who don't really pay for their property, and they put them in our neighborhoods. And I'm telling you, it creates havoc in our communities. Okay. What in the world's that? Oh, right, right, the landlord. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably been that have been homeowners in the past, veterans, and for whatever reason they went through a bad time in their finances. They had to get on the program. Like I said, it's through the VA, and
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm a veteran myself. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that too often, since I've been here for 30 years, I've seen neighborhoods go totally down after being in it. But you're absolutely right about one thing, and I never really thought about that. It is the owners of that property that have a responsibility of making sure it is kept up.
that is correct.
Yeah. Where are we at on the real estate spectrum as far as property values in Montgomery? Are we going up? We going down? Staying about the same? And what is the average medium house price of a house in Montgomery today?
If you have not been watching the current market situation, then we can definitely see that home sales are up, even though they tapered off since February of this year. They tapered off about 10% less than they were a year ago of February. But I want to say the average home sale is around 200, maybe $220,000. Don't quote me on the exact number, but that's about the average.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we have this because of COVID-19, and we decided to do a lot of different things to help people stay in their homes, like going without paying for 6 months and things of that nature. What's your thoughts on those type of programs?
So if the government had not acted swiftly and worked with Department of HUD and other agencies to ensure that there were some assistance available for homeowners, like in addition to COVID, like the country would just be in turmoil right now. Like people would not be able to make their mortgage payments, let alone feed their families and keep their utilities on. So having the mortgage companies to allow people to put their mortgage payments into forbearance or to tack those payments on to the back of the loan, I think it's been essential in keeping our economy stable.
Okay, there's some controversy about what do you call this commission, real estate commission. There was a guy on the newspaper the other day saying that they're trying to rewrite it, and right now it's mandatory that they have at least one black person on it. They're saying, it's outdated, antiquated, and we just gonna whoever get on there gets on there. What's your thoughts on that?
The laws actually are that person is in place for a reason, and not to get too deep into it, but I feel like there's going to be a vote made on it, and I feel like the people should speak. So if you feel like, and you feel like you want to be represented, and there should be representation there, you need to go to the ballot and vote when it's time.
Okay. Um, the market right now, would you say that if you put your house up for sale right now and it's in pretty decent shape, good roof on it and everything, the chances of getting what you want out of it is better now than it was a year ago?
Definitely, absolutely. I listed 3 houses last week and 1 this week. I literally had an offer within an hour of every listing that I've done, like within the last 2 weeks. Plus listings that were not selling prior to the pandemic.
Hello. I lost it. Well, I guess you'll call me back in a minute. Oh, I hung up that one too. Sorry about that, to whoever that was hanging on the other line. I'm pretty sure she'll call back. I am trying to get one of my councilmen, former councilmen, to call us this morning about this thing. But again, about this ordinance versus suggestion. Is it a law or not? Or wearing your mask? But she was talking about some good stuff too. I mean, so it seems that if you want to sell your house right now, it seems that now's a great time to do it. It seems now's a great time to do it. Let me hold that. Okay. Okay, I didn't think I said anything to make you mad or anything like that. You know, that's good. I'll get over it. Anyway, I heard some. Yeah, yeah, but you know, I hear. But this is AM. You know, you never can tell. Uh, Okay. Where can people reach you? They got if they got a question or yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Let me ask one more question. The for sale by owner, do you suggest people do that or always go with a professional person like yourself in order to sell your house? Mm. Hmm. I'll give you number one more time. Now, next time I'm gonna charge you for giving this number, but I'm gonna let you have it one more time. Give you number one more time, so folks, because you know we fail from lack of knowledge in too many instances in our communities. So if you can help some of those folks, you know, make a better decision um, based on the knowledge that you can convey to them, then that's going to help everybody. So give me number one more time. All right, one more. Hmm. Hmm. That's not too bad. That's not right, man. That's not them paper houses where you lean on the wall and it goes in and then like that, is it? I mean, oh, okay. I'm just checking. Appreciate appreciate your comment. We got to do this on a regular basis because I think you got a lot of information to give out to our audience. And send that check to One Commerce Street. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Got to take a break. We'll be back after this with your calls, your comments.
The silence is in quiet.
Report is sponsored by DannyKingCleans.com.
For clean, healthy building, trust the company that has disinfected over 75 million square feet of offices in the last year alone. Danny King, the king of clean. Check out DannyKingCleans.com now.
Danny King, the king of clean.
A batch of rain pushing across the area today, mainly during the morning hours, pushing from west to east. After 12 o'clock, I really think we're all dry, and it'll end up being sunny in the low 80s. A really nice afternoon ahead. Tonight, late, scattered showers and storms will develop, lows in the 60s. Scattered showers and storms that could be strong with hail and high to possibly damaging wind gusts on Friday. Won't rain all day, and then morning rain and storms with strong wind potential Saturday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Got a couple of things going on. Please use caution. Taylor Road at Troy Highway, that's an accident with injury. And in Prattville Highway 31 at East Main Street, we've got an accident reported there as well. So please use caution. 567-9000, that's the number to call to refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or get pre-approved to buy. MCS in Wetumpka is just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
Hey, it's Rick and Bubba here. For the past 20 years, Dr. Dwayne Randleman and his team at Veracosity Vein Center has been helping patients who suffer from leg pain, swelling, spider veins, and varicose veins.
As Alabama's premier vein center, Veracosity Vein Center utilizes their knowledge, experience, and compassion with their patients.
With most treatment options covered by insurance carriers, including Medicare, and locations right here in Montgomery and Auburn, why wait?
Learn more by visiting their website at veracositybaincenter.com today.
Hey y'all, it's Cassidy Cody Wolf here at American Oak and More. We have some exciting news to share.
No, not what you're thinking. Nobody's yet. We did just launch our newest line called Wolf Brothers Furniture.
This line consists of 6 collections, including power and manual sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners.
Quality is key here at American Oak and More, so we designed these collections with solid wood frames and high-density arms.
Last but not least, whether they're covered in microfiber or leather, they all come with a 5-year warranty.
Stop by and see us at American Oak and More. Good morning, Alabama.
How'd you sleep last night?
Hey folks, it's Ken Wolf from Wolf Boys Bedding, where we don't want to just sell you a mattress. We want to teach you how to buy the right mattress to improve your life. Shop the winter clearance sale going on now, where you will find twin mattresses for $99, queen mattresses for $399, and up to $1,000 off qualifying Jameson sets. Save on Alabama-made home beds for $299. Hurry, these deals won't last long. Don't count sheep. Get a great night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak and More.
Woke culture. It's choking America, erasing our history, threatening our freedoms, our laws, and even our police. Now, Grant Stinchfield exposes the secret woke agenda and the hidden players behind this very dangerous movement. Watch Stinchfield tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax TV as he reveals the real dangers to you and your family. Everyone is talking about Stinchfield because each night he gives you the cold, hard truth you need to know. Newsmax is now America's fastest growing cable news channel on all major systems. If you don't get it, call your cable operator. Tell them you want Newsmax or you'll switch. Remember, you can get Newsmax free on Roku, YouTube, Xumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, and smart TVs like Samsung, Sony, Vizio, or LG. It's even free on your smartphone. Just download the free Newsmax app and start watching. So find out about woke and its dangerous plans for America on Grant Stinchfield tonight. Just tune into Newsmax TV. It's real news for real people.
It's such a beautiful night. Look at the stars.
They're amazing. Did you know 20% of stars have planets orbiting them capable of sustaining life?
How did you know that? You must spend a ton of time reading.
Not at all. I use Blinkist.
Blinkist?
Yeah, it's an app that takes key insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers and gathers them into 15-minute blinks for you to read or listen to. With Blinkist, you can learn the main points of an entire book in just 15 minutes, as opposed to days or weeks.
What kind of books?
Nonfiction books in over 27 categories, from personal development to history, management, investing, philosophy, and more. Books like A Beautiful Mind, The 4-Hour Work Week, Freakonomics, and Sapiens. It's easy to learn about pretty much anything,
Like the stars?
even the stars.
Right now, radio listeners get 25% off, plus 1 free week when you go to Blinkist.com/stars. To get this special offer, go to Blinkist.com/stars. That's BLINKIST.com/STARS.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Moray, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the stock market. Call us today at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
The Rush Limbaugh Show.
And these people look absolutely pathetic.
After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
The numbers are 860-1440. Man, not a whole lot of time left, but we're going to do the best we can. Someone's been waiting on the line forever here. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
You need to have that sweet voice on more often.
Oh, my voice? Oh, yeah. She's a fine specimen female. Yeah.
For a long time, and they all knew about it, but they didn't want to address it. And the reason the mayor can't get out front with it because he's named in litigation. He's going to have to testify because he's the chief executive officer. But this is, as Dr. Boyd said, this should have been squashed a long time ago. And if you've got correct leadership, you don't let it get down to City Hall.
That was an extraordinary thing, and I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, so things must be are at least perceived to be difficult in order for those guys to come up, show their face, put their jobs on the line, because they certainly did put their jobs on the line, either not now, sooner or later. At the first opportunity, they'll get written up or something will happen to them, and next thing you know, they're gone. So I think there's something going on there that the mayor or somebody needs to take. But it's not gonna happen in front of us. I mean, and it doesn't need to, but they need to. Yeah. 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 What's that? Is he still around?
But Larry could come down there, and he's like a football coach. You know, he can't take your players. It may take him a year or two, and of course, your chief now has been down there about 6 years. But give Larry the support, and I promise you, he could get it straightened out.
All right, appreciate it. Mabel Pierce, I think she probably would have made a good chief. Since I've been in Montgomery, I changed my mind about women in leadership roles. It's difficult to sometimes to find men to do it. I realize I'm a great leader, but I just can't lead everything. So I don't know. It looks like women may be doing a better job than men. Except for the school board. I love her too, but I'm just saying we need a man over there. Good morning. Yes.
Brought it up. But did you hear about the rapper and his wife over in Atlanta had charged rape and all kinds of stuff? And he just came out and said, well, everything was consensual. They knew what they were getting into when they signed on with our freak show.
Yes, that sounds like R. Kelly.
Crap is up. But we had about 3-4 years ago, had a governor that got called. He ended up resigning, and it went all the way through the Senate races, the Trump, and all that. By his sexual misconduct. But we have a Secretary of State. I think he took a cue from the rapper, and he just said, "Hell, I'm going to spend my time and I'm leaving," and it's a done deal. The press can't just drag it through the mud, and we have to live like we're doing with the Chauvin, every day in the 24-hour news cycle. Have to deal with this stuff. He started a whole new way of dealing with that, and that's just fess up, keep moving.
And I don't get it. Right. I don't ever talk about people who made mistakes because I got too many myself. So I don't ever. That's between him and whoever it is, and yeah. So yeah.
One of the few things, if not one of the only things, that separate man from the savage beast. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Monogamous for 42 years. You can't find a woman that knows me other than my wife. How about that?
Well, that's right. But since you're 70, so we still had. Wait a minute, we still had. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I just said. Yeah. Why? But wait a minute. Women have been the downfall of men since the beginning of time. That doesn't make a guy a bad guy. Yeah. So well, have you ever? I don't find this to be corruption. It's a personal mistake, a personal issue. That's got that. How does that affect him making sure that everybody gets the vote? Yeah. Well, right. And I believe, right. But you can't blame that on John Merrill. I believe John Merrill would certainly be behind that. From what I know of him. Yeah. Or maybe. And that's bad too. But you can't put that on John Merrill. You can't. You got to put down the legislature, the Democrats and the Republicans. Yeah, I mean, yeah. 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 Well, I wish we would just vote for give people a number, but right, and that's true. But until those two people down in them Democrats or Republicans in the House down there or the Senate, until they say, you know what, maybe we ought to get rid of the party thing here and vote for people. Just vote for the people. But they won't do it because they're all trying to one up one. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tell you the one thing that the Jesus told the people when he came up to the thing. He said, "Let him without sin cast the first stone." Oh, so what? Okay, but the first 30, then what happened? What we do about those? Yeah. Okay. See ya. All right then. 860-1440. I don't ever talk about people who make mistakes because I've made enough of my own. Probably got some more to make. I don't get involved in that. That's a conversation with other people. 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give us a call, love to talk to you, whichever on your mind this morning at 8:55. Well, I don't have a whole lot of time left to do it. No, we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so did I fix the mask thing here? Okay. Oh, somebody asked me when I said hold on, what I said was let me see now. I said that something about I said we you know, why how come you want to get mad if somebody wants to just give you protection? And somebody asked me, was I talking about you know, the mass protection thing? I just think it said he said that sounded funny. It ain't gonna kill nobody to wear protection. Okay, that may came out a little funny, but I mean the protection on your face, you know, the mask. Yeah, it ain't gonna kill you to put a little protection. The other thing I ain't got nothing to do with. Okay, I'll let y'all handle that thing. I can just tell you that Montgomery used to be the number one STD city in Alabama, but now it's Detroit, so we good. So evidently they wear protection in that area. Okay, so but now I'm talking about the face mask. Okay, don't hurt you, just to wear the thing for 30 more days, and we'll see how everything works out. Yeah, I think it's gonna be all right though. I think it's gonna be all right. Okay, I'm gonna wear the mask 30 more days, and I might wear it for 45 more days if I'm out in public. But now I must admit, I don't wear my mask in the car or outside. I mean, why you're in the car by yourself? So why are you wearing a mask in the car by yourself? Because if you already got it, then wearing the mask not gonna get rid of it. Matter of fact, all you're gonna do is re-breathe in what you already got. Now you're gonna get a double dose of it. I mean, why do people wear masks in the car? And you got the AC on. Why are you doing that? Okay, that's kind of stupid. Okay, I mean, I understand you want to be protected, but ain't nobody in there but you. I mean, and if you scared of you, maybe you ought not be driving down the road because mess around and get carbon monoxide poison or whatever you get when you reintroduce oxygen back into your same place, something like that. Next thing you know, you're having all kind of accidents on the freeway out there because you're wearing a mask inside the car. Come on, man. Stop wearing a mask inside the car, okay? You don't need a mask. If you're in there by yourself, you don't need a mask. And if you're in there with your kids who just came out of the house with you, I probably don't need a mask with them either because they probably already got it if they don't have it, okay? My grandkids, a couple of days ago, were diagnosed with it. Now, they don't have any symptoms or anything like that. So that's something, they little kids. Sometimes I think they just say COVID because they ain't got nothing else to say. But we don't worry. So I was going to go visit them, but I said, whoa, time out. Just in case. Grandpa don't want to get none of that, you know, that stuff right now. I want to be around a little bit, at least buy one of y'all a bike. Anyway, 8:58 in the morning. I guess I got to go, but blessings on you all. Enjoyed the conversation we've had today. And I'm going to get that real estate later on at least once a month to talk about real estate because I think that I'm going to charge you next time. But we're going because I've already got some questions about her already, see? So she got to pay me for that. Pay her, not me, us, for that kind of information, you know. I'm just saying okay, well, it's been a tough day, but I'm making it. I made it through it. And don't forget your protection on your face. Okay, that's what you need. Have a great morning, everybody. If the good Lord said the same, we'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday.
News update. Saturday on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. The state legislature is getting closer to agreeing on a new Alabama lottery. The Senate passed the first of two bills required to get that process going. That measure passed by a vote of 30-2. It now moves on to the House for consideration. If it passes there, Alabama voters get it next. Alabama's Secretary of State John Merrill announced yesterday he will not seek elected office next year. This comes after allegations of an extramarital affair detailed in a report from AL.com. The site reports Merrill initially denied the allegations, then confirmed he had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with another woman. And in coronavirus coverage this morning, the U.S. has reached a milestone in its COVID vaccination efforts. According to data from the CDC, nearly 25% of adults in the country have been fully vaccinated. All American adults should be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine by April 19th. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, the home of Sean Hannity. What makes America great are its people. WLWI.